So The Wheel of Time is now streaming on Amazon Prime. Yeah, it's pretty good. Same as always, guys, if you already haven't, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm also on Twitter and TikTok, so if you're on any of those platforms, please hook me up. First of all, I just want to put it out there that I have not read the book, so this is completely new territory to me. I know there's a lot of people out there that are really excited for this TV show, and especially that have actually read these books, so I can understand the hype right now, especially online. This show is going mental. Pretty much everybody that has been watching this that I know, they've absolutely loved it. I think we're on episode 4 now, which I'm up to date with. I've only just recently watched them, so I didn't actually realise it was actually starting. I think the first 3 episodes was, like maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and episode 4 was just recently. So I just watched the 4th episode, and I'm definitely keeping up with it. This is a completely brand new cast. Like, I don't know anybody in this, and it is so difficult remembering not only the characters' names, but the actors' names as well. So I'm just going to be very generic and very basic about this. But no, I'm really enjoying it. It's very action heavy, and I love the whole fantasy vibe. Like, I grew up watching this kind of thing. And one of the things that people keep telling me about this, especially what I've been reading on social media, is that it's just a rip-off of Lord of the Rings. It's just like a bit of a knockoff version. And again, I just disagree. I think it's its own thing. I think it's a very fresh intake on fantasy, you know, and the fact that it's come from these novels, I'll have to really look at them and see what they're like. But I mean, I've not read for years. I don't have the patience to read anymore, which I'm sure you could probably relate to. But no, I'm really enjoying it. I love the whole magic, and I love the whole innocence of it. I think it's just beautifully filmed. Like, the scenes and even just the magic effects, they just look so real. Like, the effects are looking really good, and I really can't fault it. Acting, I mean, it's definitely, we'll work on that. But yeah, I am enjoying it from what I've been watching so far. But I do like it. It's a very different intake of what I normally watch, and it's just really keen to see something that I don't really know anything about and just kind of watch it unravel into something that's going mental on social media. One thing that I will say is that it's probably best to refrain from comparing it to other shows, and I think that's the problem with social media. They say it's one thing when it's meant to be another, and I just think it's just not fair to do that for a show. Otherwise, you're just never going to really enjoy it. I mean, you want it to stand on its own 2 feet. You don't want to compare it to films, TV shows. You want to be able to enjoy it for what it is. So I can understand why people probably think it's something like Lord of the Rings, but I would probably advise just take it as it is, enjoy it, and just don't get in your head about it. I mean, Lord of the Rings was a really big success. You know, The Hobbit was a continuation, which obviously was pretty successful as well. But you should never really think something's been made just because that was pretty big. But anyway. I mean, you never know, the show could do just as good as Lord of the Rings. It could be really that big if it continues on. I'll say no more about it now. But with the story, I just don't know where it's going. You know, it's difficult for me to say, oh, what's going to happen here? And I'm sure there's been a lot of readers out there that have obviously read the books, and they're just kind of criticising and, you know, every single little detail about what's going on right now in these 4 episodes. And I'm sure that's where all the gossip is at the minute as well. Trying to critique it in every possible way, shape or form. That, oh, they've missed this out, they've missed this out. But like you say, there's only been 4 episodes. But one thing that I'm really enjoying is all the different characters, like the Trollecs, and the fact that this woman, this witch, has come to these 5 kids to say, oh, you're the next dragon reborn. You know, so this is going to be a journey. From the get-go, I knew this was going to be a journey, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really interesting. And that's where I get, you know, this is kind of like Lord of the Rings. It's literally like a journey all the way to Mordor. You know, it's something like that. And obviously with all these weird creatures, you can kind of sympathise with all of that. One of the characters I'm probably more invested in at this point is Moiraine, and she's played by Rosamund Pike. And she's definitely seemed to be more of the centre of attention at this point. You know, she's the person to get these kids to this location and to find out who this Dragon Reborn is. You know, you have all these different characters, and it just feels like a little bit of a mix right now. You know, it is definitely difficult. I keep having to go back and forth and to find out and do my own research about who's who, and it is, but at this point you definitely know she's the person to watch at this point. I do find it interesting, the fact that if they're not good, then they're obviously evil, and if they can't save the world, they have to destroy the world. So I'm surprised people don't think this show's like Star Wars, you know. Why can't that be the case? Except obviously they're missing lightsabers and battleships and Or who knows, it might even appear. But with Moiraine, I do feel like she's bit off more than she can chew. She does seem to get into a lot of trouble. She does seem to be getting injured quite a bit, and it's a bit weird as well because they can't heal themselves. They can only heal each other. So it's basically more of a touch to sister vibe, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of nice, I think. Unless by all of a sudden they just start ganging up on each other and then they all just die, you know? I mean, I've not read the book, so. Or if there's some sort of spell that turned them against each other, I mean, that would probably be the ultimate way of getting rid of all of them if the bad guys really wanted to do that, then yeah. But I love the vibe that it feels like one big sisterhood, and I just love that. I just find it more gripping and enticing, and it just feels more homely. It feels more comforting because with all the stuff that's going on, all the bad stuff that's happening to them, it's just cool to see them like all stick together and kind of deal with all the situation that's occurring. And I would like to see a lot more of that as well. We need more sisterhood. You definitely have a lot of intense scenes as well. Like you have this cult that wear these white jackets, and they seem to be at odds with the women, which are called the Aes Sedai. And you have these people that have the magic that are on the bad side other than the light side. And you have this cult that don't like the people that use and abuse this kind of power. And you see some of the intense scenes, especially with them, burning other witches, and you kind of see from like the start of the first episode that they are at odds with these bad people, and they don't allow men to have this power. You know, they seem to be tracking down these men that use and abuse this bad power, which kind of confuses me a little bit because one of these kids, or two of them I think, are male as well, so I don't know. I mean, I might need to read more into it, but there's a few things that just don't add up. But like I say, this has only been 4 episodes, so I'm sure there'll be more to come. I mean, you can definitely spot a lot of sexism in this show, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I think I'm definitely still going to keep watching it. I don't know how to rate it though. I mean, it's difficult to rate it because it's still ongoing. So maybe at the end, and then we'll give it a good proper critique, and we'll find out at that point. So yeah. So anyway, guys, The Wheel of Time. Have you watched it? If you haven't, I would probably suggest maybe read the books. I mean, from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of books, so it's really up to you. I mean, I would definitely take this with a pinch of salt, and maybe you would probably wait until all of it comes out so you could just binge it from start to finish, because there is a lot of back and forth with this. You know, I would say I would probably watch it weekly, or yeah, I'd probably watch it weekly and then probably blitz it all, but you definitely need to kind of go through this with an open mind, and I'd love to hear what you think. Put your comments below, let me know, turn on notifications, and please like and subscribe to the channel. Cheers guys, thanks.